Good evening. I'd like to call the Recreation and Parks Commission meeting to order at 5:31. And we'll start with a call to order by the chair.
I approve what you stated. 5:31, let's stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Agenda item C, roll call. Commissioner Holloway,
Present.
Commissioner Bauer,
Present.
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Present.
Commissioner Ablong,
Present.
Chair Weitron.
Present.
Chair Weitron, I would like to remind the audience that if they wish to address the commission, they must submit a green request to speak form located at the podium in the back of the council chamber. Citizens can submit public comment to the commission electronically no later than 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Comments received before the deadline will be sent to the commission and will be part of the record and will be mentioned as part of public comment portion of the agenda. Material may be emailed to recreation@cityofmerced.gov and should be limited to 300 words or less. Any correspondence received after 1 p.m. will be distributed to the commission and retained for the official record. Agenda item D, public comment. Members of the public who wish to speak on any matter not listed on the agenda may speak during this portion of the meeting and will be allotted 3 minutes. State law prohibits the commission from acting at this meeting on any matter raised during the public comment period. Members of the public who wish to speak on a matter that is listed on the agenda will be called upon to speak during the discussion of that item. And Chair Weitron, we do not have any requests to speak. Agenda E, consent calendar. Review and approve minutes from June 23rd, 2025.
So I will need a motion to approve minutes, please.
I motion to approve the minutes from June 23rd, 2025.
A second.
I second.
Ready.
Okay. Agenda item F.
No, we need
Oh,
to.
sorry.
vote.
I apologize. This is my first meeting clerking, so thank you for your help. Okay. Vote tally.
How do we do this, Chris?
I think you just click on
Here.
there, yes, or no. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the motion passes
We
unanimously.
need Commissioner Smith. Can you vote yes or no? It does?
Would you like me to clear?
Yeah, could you clear it? Let's try one more time.
Yes. I need to. Oops. There we go. Okay, just 1 minute. There we go.
I think his is a blank one on top, maybe?
I think
Oh,
we're-
it looks that way.
I think we're out of order because yours is not showing it.
Okay. Okay, and the motion is approved.
It's unanimous.
Okay.
The yes number was correct.
Okay. Okay, agenda item F, reports. F1, Parks and Community Services Department updates.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Oh, this is one. There it is. All right, thank you, Jen. Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. First, I want to thank Jen Flackman for stepping in today to fill our vacancy for us. We're looking for another admin assistant. Cynthia reached out last week and said that she'd no longer be able to work with us due to some other conflicts. And so we wish her the best of luck and really appreciate all the service that she rendered for us over the few months that she was with us. And we'll be looking to fill that position in the next month or so. In the meantime, thank you, Jen, for filling that void for us. Every month, I like to give the commission updates on things that are going on. We have a variety of capital improvement projects. We have several programs that are always up and running or ending. And I know Commissioner Holloway asked for these ahead of time through an email, so I'm working on getting it that efficient. But right now, we have a monthly report for you for the month of July. So a little bit about the budget. I know that the two months ago, we reported in May on what we were looking at doing. City Council came back with the city manager's approved budget and said that they wanted to add a third zookeeper position or fund a third zookeeper position that we had funded from an outside foundation for the last 3 years. With our budget cuts, we eliminated that position. When that budget went to City Council, they put funding from the general fund back into our budget to keep that position. Luckily for our department, some of the things that we were able to do over the last several years with that external funding really highlighted what we were capable of with those additional resources, and a private individual stepped up and offered us $200,000 to fund that position over the next 3 years. So with the adopted budget, we reallocated the funding from the zookeeper to ball field maintenance equipment. So right now, our ball field or recreation field and facility workers, they don't really have any machinery. They primarily use hand tools outside of a mule to kind of drag fields or chalk fields. And so we're looking at upgrading the equipment that they have at their disposal to do things more efficiently and effectively. This that you see here in the top corner is a AB I-Force machine. Basically, it allows us to rototill, to edge, to weed, and to actually, there's a survey attachment where we can grade infields on all of the sports fields that we prep weekly for either schools, our own programs, or tournaments. So this will greatly increase the efficiency of our field preparation and maintenance by the addition of this equipment. So we'll be looking to bring this online for our ball field prep staff later this year. In addition, we worked with the City of Merced School District. Before you this summer was a report where we talked about the Junior Giants program being funded through the Merced City School District. That program is traditionally free for participation. That's one of the requirements on the city, is to offer the program for free. However, it is not free to operate. It's free to participate, not to operate. So Merced City School District, through a contract with them, piloted a funding mechanism for them to pay for our staffing to run the program. It went phenomenal. Mr. Kindevong was in here earlier this evening talking to Commissioner Bauer about the success of the program. We had, we'll do a programmatic report on the next slide, but we had over 300 participants in the program. Nobody paid to participate. We do a great job of collecting data on outcomes, from feeling how to stand up to bullies to feeling a part of and included. One of the things I'm really proud of our staff about Junior Giants is they started a challenger league, so kids with specific or special needs and their parents could play in their own division. And so every Friday night, they all go out to Nanini Sports Complex and play a full series of baseball games with one another, and it's a fantastic opportunity for them. So we've been doing some really good work with Junior Giants. The city school district wanted to extend that opportunity for us to do other good work for free with students in all of our programs. And so we were awarded $180,000+ in contracts to make flag football and basketball programs free as well this year. There is something that we need to routinely clarify. Not everybody that participates in our programs attends Merced City School District, so this is specific to those district students. If anybody's in Weaver School District, Merced Charter, an Outwater School, Planada, LeGrand, they would still be able to register for our programs, but it would be a fee to play. We are working on creating meetings with those districts to see what opportunities there may be for them to contract us so that their students are also free to participate. But in the meantime, Merced City Schools has awarded the contract so their students can do so. General Vang Pao Park wanted to acknowledge some donations and grants that we've gone after with this year's budget. We had several elders from the Hmong community donate over $3,000 collectively towards the installation of the General Vang Pao Monument that's going to be placed at Vang Pao Park. Jennifer Flackman, myself, and some consultants or contractors from a grant writing firm assisted in the preparation of a grant through Arts in Parks, California State Grant Program. That was about $80,000 with our application. We have not been notified if we were awarded just yet, but if awarded, that would add that much to the park budget and basically take care of the monument cost, and all those proceeds that are right now allocated for that area of the park would be going back to the overall park budget. The other grant is the Environmental Enhancement and Mitigation Grant. So if you're familiar with the city of Merced and the Bellevue Ranch corridor, there's a M Circle. So right now where M Street goes towards Bellevue, there's a stop sign, and then you kind of go around this big half circle before you go up to Bellevue. Originally, that big circle that's now a parking lot was supposed to be a park, just an open green space with trees. There was a revision to the community development plan to address excessive parking and traffic caused by the UC coming and going from UC Merced. And so that's a regional transportation facility now where people can commute down to the north end of town, hop on a city bus and be transported anywhere in town, or get to that parking lot in M Circle, get on a Cat Track bus and go up to the UC. However, with that additional traffic comes emissions that weren't planned for when that community was developed. And so we applied for a grant to help fund the landscape and vegetation and urban forest at Vang Pao Park. So all the trees and landscape would be paid for with this grant to help try to sequester the carbon buildup and the heat magnification as the result of putting in a big blacktop in the neighborhood. Donations were received for emergency repairs at McNamara Turf Soccer Field. So unfortunately, if you've lived in Merced for a while, you see a lot of vandalism throughout our parks, whether it's playgrounds being burnt, slides vandalized, things like that. We deal with it a lot. And one of the things that happened recently was someone pulled up several pieces of turf at McNamara Soccer Field and rendered the park just about useless for that area. So I want to thank the All Beyond of Merced who came forward and offered to donate towards the supplies and material and labor to actually get that repaired. It is not a permanent fix by any means, but it'll get us through to hopefully replace the entire turf. That turf is operating on year, what, Mr. Chair, maybe 13? 12, 13 of a 10-year turf. So it is at its life end and some. We really need to upgrade that turf and find the resources to do so. It's about $1 million project to renovate that turf. Some programmatic updates. Our aquatics program over the summer, we run from June through the end of the beginning of August. Our aquatics program will conclude this Saturday with our Big Kahuna Cannonball Contest. You're all welcome to join in the fun and challenge me and the rest of the lifeguards to a cannonball contest this Saturday. I think Mr. Smith is arranging some community members, maybe Mr. Joe, to come out and barbecue some hot dogs or something, and we'll have Kona Ice come out for the kids as well. But aquatics served over 400 youth this summer with swim lessons. I want to thank Central Valley Opportunity Fund that donated $5,000 and allowed us to reduce our swim registration fee for lessons from $65 down to $25. That allowed several families to take advantage of swim lessons that beforehand could not. We had 5 private lessons contracted where we did one-on-one swim lessons. We had several special needs swim lesson arrangements at Ada Givens Pool. And we had our first ever adult swim lesson, which from all accounts went very well. And we'll be looking to offer that as an actual series or track for the community next summer. Junior Giants, we had 387 active participants. 98 students were waitlisted, which means we were out of coaches and teams and space to add even more. We are limited to just the one complex for youth baseball and softball right now over at Nanini Youth Sports Complex. We had over 140 volunteers to coach, assistant coach, or team parent. And this week is the wrap up with the last pitch thrown out by Mayor Serrato on the 31st at 6 p.m. That'll be at Nanini Sports Park if those of you may be interested or available. We do a big barbecue, just a great day of celebration to end the season. Parents and coaches love the feeling of free opportunity and services to allow their child to program. Adult softball, we had 44 teams this spring. The season went pretty long. We just finished up a couple of weeks ago. Typically, our season is 2.5 months, but because of some spring April showers, our fields at Joe Herb Park have not been renovated in years. And the clay soil gets saturated even with a little bit of rain and renders the fields almost useless until they're completely dried out. It's unsafe to play on when they're wet. And so those delays caused us to extend the season through the summer, but the adults had a great time. We do have men's league and co-ed. We did a one-pitch summer pilot program, so those of you may be familiar with like Savannah Banana Ball and kind of the fun, antic-filled baseball league. This was a modified version of that where we really wanted to accelerate the game. And so we did an adult softball league, but it was one pitch only. You either hit it or you don't, and it's over. And so it was like speed softball, a lot of fun. We had 9 different teams sign up to play for our pilot of that opportunity, and it was every Friday night over the summer. Movies in the park, we've had 4 so far: Moana 2, Mufasa, Sonic 3, The Kid Who Could Be King. This was developed early last week, so last Friday we also had Captain America: Brave New World at the Merced Theater. And I need to give a shout out to Lam Kindavong, Supervisor of Parks and Community Services Division, and the Merced Carmagar Theater, who have partnered with us to host some of our movies in the park when the movies are, or the parks are about 100 degrees or higher. They've sponsored our movies to be held indoors, and so I want to thank them for that opportunity to partner. Our Trailblazers Outdoor Recreation Program, this was formerly known as My City Mentoring. It's a program where on the top right of the images here, you'll see several youth that are referred through a variety of partners, schools, probation, behavioral health, etc. The goal is to get young people that have not had the opportunity to connect with nature into the outdoors and really build a relationship to be better resilient through their young adulthood. And we had a fantastic couple of trips this quarter. We've taken 2 trips to Yosemite with groups. And then we had a Yosemite family trip where some of these individuals brought their parents or older siblings because parents weren't able to attend. And really pretty remarkable to see these young people get to explore with their parent in tandem, which from their accounts never happens. Many of these students are not leaving Merced, let alone our area, and getting up into the foothills. And so it's pretty awesome to have the opportunity to get them out into the outdoors and explore their surroundings and build their confidence and resilience. We are only able to do this through a grant that was awarded 2 years ago. We purchased with this grant 2 Toyota minivans that are hybrid, so they're gas and electric, all-wheel drive, so we can pretty much go anywhere with them, and we can take 7 kids at a time up the hill or to the coast or wherever we may deem necessary to get these kids out. The goal is to continue to apply for grants to fund the outdoor recreation program. We feel that it's a vital resource that our community doesn't have the infrastructure to support routinely right now. And so we'll continue, Jennifer Flackman and myself are looking at a couple of grants to help subsidize this program moving forward. Before we go to capital improvement projects, does anybody have questions at this point about our program updates for the month? Okay.
Actually, Chris.
Yeah, please.
I remember reading, and I'm looking on the website, did you do a HITS tennis?
We did, yes. HITS tennis, that's one that we missed on here. We did tennis. We didn't do pickleball. We did tennis and stick to fitness hockey, I believe. So we had 3 sessions of tennis. The third session, 4 sessions of tennis, 4 sessions finishing right now this week. We typically get about 12 to 15 students each session. It's small groups that we carry the program out at Applegate Park, the Teal Top, where we had the old tennis court resurfaced. We ran into a little issue this year with access because of the renovations taking place at Kittyland. So we had to work through that with the Kiwanis and our contractor that's on site there. But from all reports from staff, the tennis program was, no pun intended, it was a hit. So, and that is a free program as well. We actually get a grant through USA Tennis to provide that to the community over the summer.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome. And to that point, if you look at the images of our tennis sessions, it's really remarkable how diverse the kids are that come out and participate in tennis. We've had it called into question before, like who's actually attending these classes, and I was quite surprised at how diverse the attendees are for that. So it's good to see that we're representing our community well with our programs. So some capital improvements that I'm going to go over. We have several in the works right now at various stages. So I want to make sure that the commission here and the community is kept up to breast as far as where we're at. Merced Applegate Zoo. This is not a identical image of what we may end up with, but this is at about 80% design right now. So we're looking at taking away some of the setback in front of the bear exhibit and adding glass panels, which will allow us to kind of get the attendees of our tours off of the regular walking path and kind of set back into the enclosure area so our zookeepers can give some commentary about what they may be seeing with the bears' history, how they arrived, et cetera. We also have some opportunities to do some more interactive enrichment with the glass panels, such as putting food on the glass and getting the bears to open up their mouth for the attendees to see the different features of the bears. We will have a pond similar to what they have now, except this one will be about twice as big with a waterfall feature. And then it'll be layered with a staircase so that the bears can get up to the top and kind of look over the crowd if they like. We're working with All About Building and NJA Architecture out of Lodi to complete this design. This is a design build contract, which means we give a team of contractors and designers one contract, and they work together with us to make sure that everything's carried out within budget. This project has a $1.6 million build budget. About $200,000 of that is going towards design, which gives us about $1.5 million, give or take, for completion of construction. Applegate Zoo is a very old facility. It started kind of its roots in the 50s and 60s. as a rescue. It's been built on over time, but there's very little standards that were around at that point compared to today. So a lot of the things that we're putting in place at this facility won't be able to be seen. It'll be underground, it'll be in conduit, it'll be things like that to bring the facility up to code and lead to a better user experience and a safer working condition for our staff. CP42, or Regional Sports Complex, this is a rendering of the playground that'll be installed in August. We will start construction the last week of August and complete over a 2-week period. So this is a really quick build. The two features that kind of stand out here are the amount of solid surface that you see. So the blue area on the top left is actually all the rubberized surface that's poured in place like a sponge. So we have this at Applegate and Ferens Park playgrounds. This is kind of a new design standard for playgrounds to make sure that caregivers that may have a walker or crutches or children that may be in strollers or wheelchairs can have the same access to our playgrounds and amenities as all other children. To the bottom right, you'll see more of the adventure playground side. So this is the 5 to 12 area. And the main feature here is a 20-foot tall rope tower for climbing for those climbers in the audience or commission. This is a rendering of Bob Hart Square. So we've had a lot of construction going on down Main Street and the renovation of the one-way. If you haven't gone down Main Street yet, please be advised that it is now going a different direction. It used to go west to east. Now it's going east to west. So it's following the sunset. It was very well done. We've got a ton of people parking downtown every single day. And I think it's really meeting community needs. What you'll see here on the top, on the far right of the image is Main Street and the little garden area where the flagpoles are in the teal kind of, triangle. This area here where the mouse is hovering. And then going back to the south this way, we're removing the strip of grass that's there with the big pine trees now, and we're replacing that area with big planter boxes to add seating in the middle of the restaurant area there. And then what is currently canal dead ending into Bob Hart Square is this. So you can see 16th Street on your far left, going all the way to where it says pedestrian area with EVA access. That'll be blown out and rebuilt. Well, it's already blown out. It'll be rebuilt as a downtown plaza where we'll have a full stage along 16th Street to have live music, performances. Every weekend, if you go down to this area, you'll see in either parking lot either a swap meet taking place or a farmer's market, a thrift shop, Super Flea, something like that. So we feel like this is going to be a fantastic venue to relocate those events and gatherings so that the parking lot can be parking lots. Timeline for this, Main Street is just about complete. There's some things in the Canal Main intersection that need to be redone. But this plaza will be underway probably by next week and hope to be complete by this October. On the bottom there, you can see some rough sketches of what the plaza area will look like. In the middle, you'll see a person, and that image is to scale. So it's going to be a pretty big stage backdrop against 16th Street and live music and performances happening facing inward to the crowd. Stephen Leonard Youth Center. This is a age-old community center in South Merced. This caught fire about 3 years ago now in the roof, post-COVID. There was no one inhabiting the building at the time, but excessive damage inside the soffits on the outside of the building all the way to the the entire roof on the, across the rest of the building. So we had an insurance claim, and then the city dedicated some additional resources a couple of city council meetings ago to add some final touches and upgrades that really needed to be done to bring this facility up to current expectations. So we have a solid concrete surface floor. All the doors have been replaced, the lighting's all been replaced, ventilation. Everything other than the bones is brand new. This is a cinder block facility, so nothing really happened to the exterior walls. It was just the electrical, the wood, and the ventilation that had issues. So all of that was removed and reinstalled. The city is still working on a plan to open this up for the community. So once the city manager's office and council determine how best to utilize the facility, we'll update the commission on what we're going to do with it moving forward. This is an image of the playground rendering we're working on at Vang Pao Park. So really trying to use the naturalistic theme of the area where Farron's Park butts up against the creek here, or Farron's Creek butts up against the park here. This is at grade, so on the bottom right, you can see the playground area in the right bottom corner. That's what the image you see here is. The blue surface, again, is that pour-in-place material where the FIBAR or traditional fill is in the middle. The cool thing about that middle kind of natural area, the timbers that we're going to use and the boulders that'll be stationed there, they'll be for seating, but we know that it would be kind of like in a little adventure landscape for visitors. All the timbers are being repurposed, so they're old trees that fell in the city of Merced. Some of them that we're looking at using are 60 years old. That used to belong in Applegate Park. And we found a local miller that's collected the trees as they've come down over the years. And so we'll be repurposing those and really encourage the community to think about recycling, repurposing, and reusing materials as a way to conserve our natural resources, such as those that you can find around Farron's Creek here, excuse me. On the bottom right, you'll see the entire park site plan. You see kind of a wetland with a series of little pools and ponds in the top right. That is the very corner of the flood basin. So these parks in a lot of the neighborhoods in Merced are doubled as flood protection areas. So as storm waters rise in neighborhoods, that storm water is pushed into these flood basins that we utilize as parks to help get the water off the street and reduce erosion in neighborhoods and issues that come along with flooding. So we wanted to be very intentional with this particular basin because the water pumps out of Vang Pao Park as the water levels rise and the park becomes saturated to where it can't absorb anymore. The water pumps out into Farron's Creek. And so our plan is to actually utilize that lower corner. It's been designed and being engineered to be an actual wetland. So we'll be planting materials, supplies, plants, et cetera, to filter all of the storm water so it's clean when it goes back into Farron's Creek. So we submitted, this is the site plan we submitted for the environmental enhancement and mitigation grant that we were talking about earlier, where we're trying to offset the carbon footprint of the regional transit center with this park build. If you've been around Applegate Park recently, you've probably seen some construction fencing around Kittyland. The main project with the Kittyland renovation is extending the train. The train that everybody here grew up probably riding or at least hearing when you were at the park had to be decommissioned because of some of the issues with emissions and things like that. It was a diesel locomotive. The Kiwanis of Greater Merced who run Kittyland decided to go away from a gas-powered vehicle and they went with an all-electric train. So we appreciate that nod towards helping us conserve our natural resources. And the old rail system and path had to be taken up with a new pad going down for the electric train. This train will actually have it'll have an inclusive theme, so the caboose will have a tailgate that lowers down, just like a trailer would, and people in wheelchairs can come up onto the train on the last car that's attached to the train to encourage everybody to participate on the ride. The extension is about 20% longer than the original train track, so we're going all the way up to where the moat or the outdoor theater is at Applegate, and then going back up to the Bear Creek Bike Trail. This project is under construction now, and we hope to be complete by the end of September. Any questions before we move on to the high-speed rail update about capital improvement projects? Anything else that we didn't report on that anybody is curious about? Okay.
Quick question,
Yes,
sorry.
please.
On the train, it's gonna be done in September, but it won't open till next year, March, or do they plan on opening it
Yeah,
early?
so
Okay.
the goal is for them to get all the testing done and everything like that. So the construction of the new track should be done by the end of September, October. But my understanding is Kiwanis only operates for a certain period out of the year at Kittyland, so it would reopen next year.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Good question. Anybody else? And they're always looking for volunteers, so feel free. High-speed rail update. So if you've been watching the news, earlier this month, the federal government removed or looked to rescind about $4 billion towards the state project. That's going to put a major pause in any momentum that the project had. The governor is looking at state subsidies that are tied into every annual budget to ensure that there's continued progress on the project. But we checked in with city administration earlier this month, and we're told that there was no active ongoing communication. So I think everybody's kind of sitting at bay right now at this point. With that being said, the city has proceeded to move into the senior center. So our department will move later this year into Merced Senior Community Center. We've been working collaboratively with the Merced Senior Inc. Board to make sure that we are doing so while being conscientious of programming, areas of the facility that might need to be modified to accommodate their continued use. And it's so far so good. We are hoping to be in by next spring at the latest. We're working backwards, looking to start construction in late December, and working backwards, had our first walkthrough with our engineering team and IT department earlier this week. The City Council approved a new 5-year lease agreement with the Boys and Girls Club as well. And what was a 1-year agreement with the potential to extend for 2 additional years turned into a 5-year agreement with the potential to extend an additional 5 years. The biggest change, other than the term of that agreement, is that the city will no longer subsidize the utility or janitorial cost of the club. So the city, as far as my research could tell, had allocated a specific set amount of funding year for year towards that particular entity using the facility. They're in a really good position right now and agreed to take on those costs on their own. So we appreciate their willingness to do that and help us adjust to the current realities of our budget. The city is working on a general plan update that includes a station area plan specific to downtown and the high-speed rail station if and when that project starts. So there's a group of people that were hired, much like our Parks Rec and Open Space Master Plan folks that were hired to help lead or guide the city through the planning process. It takes about 18 months to complete the plan. At some point, this commission will be asked to review the open space section of the general plan and participate in giving input and feedback on that. It might not be at a specific commission meeting. It could be at a community-wide forum where we talk specifically about open space and parks, but your participation will be sought. The Parks Rec Open Space Plan will indicate future facility locations as a result of high-speed rail. So if the high-speed rail comes through Merced and the station is placed in the current suggested location, it would displace Merced Senior Community Center and the McCombs Youth Center. So part of our PROS plan will be to at least indicate probable relocation sites for those facilities if we need to move in the future. The department has been working on community sponsorship opportunities. So if you've grown up and done youth sports, you know, teams sometimes are sponsored, sometimes leagues are sponsored. A lot of times we may have parks or fields named after someone or an agency or a organization. And so we wanted to update that opportunity for our community. And as a matter of fact, I went to get my car smogged today and saw our banner in Merced Smog Shop because they sponsored our Junior Warriors basketball program last year, and they went and hung it up in their lobby. So it's a really great opportunity for local businesses and agencies to be able to give back to youth programming and recreation. And so we're excited to kind of formalize this process. We have various levels of sponsorship, everything ranging from a shared team sponsorship, which you see on the bottom right banner there, where maybe an organization can dedicate $250. They would have a shared spot on a banner, and those banners would be put up every weekend when we had games. We have a higher level, kind of like a bronze, silver, gold, platinum staggered approach, where an outside organization would get their solo banner, and that would be up for the duration of the season and or entire year based on what level of sponsorship you paid into. Some upcoming events. We have the 5K, 10K Gateway to Yosemite Run Walk. New this year for the event will be a 1K Parent and Me. So it's $20, and that covers the parent and the child. And that would just take place inside Ferens Park immediate area around the disc golf course. If you do the 5K, your route would be the first route there to the right of our flyer, where you go up behind the dog park, turn around, come back, and run the other side of Ferens Park. If you do the 10K, you would do the 5, but continue running under our street all the way up to Vang Pao Park, circle the park, and come back. This run is being dubbed the Run for All, and it's in dedication to raising proceeds for the all-inclusive playground that will be at Vang Pao Park. So the features that are specific to kids with special needs being incorporated at that park. The years past, we had the Race for the Ace was last year's Run for the Disc Golf Course signage. The year before that, we had the Run for the Rail to help kick off fundraising efforts for Kittyland. We just booked out our NFL flag football registration. Again, major thanks to the staff at Merced City School District for working with us on the contract to provide these programs for free. This is the first year we've had every single division waitlisted and completely full, including varsity. Usually by 6th grade, students kind of know they want to keep doing sports or they want to try other things. And this year we had a ton of kids register for every division. So big thank you to Merced City Schools. But we are completely full. We had to share that message loud and clear today because we had lots of parents still coming in. Mermaids and Pirates will be taking place throughout the month of August at Merced Applegate Zoo. We have lots of our staff in costume, different activities, water games, etc. It's a ton of fun. It's pretty much our regular price to get in. It's just a great special event. And there are some opportunities to do some unique activities there during Mermaids and Pirates. The Big Kahuna Cannonball Contest, I referenced this earlier, so it's the way to conclude our aquatic season. This will be Saturday, August 2nd, this weekend from 1 to 3. Entry is free until the pool meets maximum capacity. So I believe we're allowed to have 60 kids in the pool. Once we get that number, no more will be able to swim for free. But as people leave and make room, more folks can come in and participate. Outside of the 1 to 3 timeline, the pool will be open for the routine schedule for rec swim, so up to 7 o'clock at night. But this event would be specific from 1 to 3. We do have life jackets available, so if you have any cannonballers that are maybe not appropriate for the deep end just yet, we'll put them in a life jacket and let them go off the diving board with everybody else. So it's a lot of fun. Second or third year, I think, and we're ordering trophies this year, which is a legit cannonball mounted on a base to remember the event by. Any questions and answers on the report? Or any questions? I guess I should have the answers on any of the upcoming events. So before I conclude, one of the things that I didn't get a chance to add as a business item that I really wanted to do is acknowledge Lehua's. She announced last week, was it? Last week that she had some conflicts with some other commitments that came up for her. And so she's going to be stepping down as a Parks and Rec Commissioner. But I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge and give a certificate of appreciation, if I could, for the time that you've spent away from family and friends, being committed to Parks and Community Services. And I know you were one of the commissioners that took advantage of the chance to go tour a lot of our rec facilities and see what programs were going on for young people, what our partners were doing, and make sure they were doing what they were putting on those reports. So I really appreciate all of the insights that you've shared, the interest that you've taken, and I hope that you continue to be a member of our community and make sure to keep visiting our parks and advocating in the various ways that you can outside of the board role. So if we could get a round of applause for Lehua, and then Jennifer happens to be our public information officer, so could we do a photo real quick? Oh, sure. If you get your certificate. So usually, I'll just yell. Usually, our very wordy mayor would do these certificates, so we don't have to worry about what we're gonna say, but we just wanted, as a spokesperson for our department and the rest of the commission, we just wanted to give this certificate of appreciation to you for your time committed to the Parks and Recreation Committee, advocating for health and wellness in the city of Merced. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your new ventures. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
No, I'm right behind, right behind.
Yeah, come on.
No, you're good, you're good.
You get it?
Yeah, but I just.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you again
Thank
for all
you.
of your time.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you so much.
So if there's no other questions that anybody has, yes.
The contract with the school district, is that a 1 year? Contract with the school district, 1 year or more?
1 year, yes, 1 year. The one for Junior Giants was the end of last fiscal year, so we went into contract for that in 24-25. The contract for the flag football and basketball program spans this school year, so it's for 25-26. All right, thank you, Commissioner.
Okay. Agenda item G, business. Agenda item G1, request to add item to future agenda.
Any items for next agenda, next time? None?
We, Commission, good evening again. We may have a naming request that staff might be bringing to you for one of the fields at Community Park 42. I'll give more information. Right now, it's a private matter, but as we move further into negotiations ongoing about the north parcel that's being added to the rest of the project, I may be bringing an item to you and have that put on the next agenda.
Okay. Agenda item G2, commission comments.
I have a couple. We did the tennis program, my kids. They loved it. It was a lot of fun. They let the kids be themselves. It wasn't all about tennis. It had a lot of just having fun with friends. And it was a nice surprise. They got a racket at the end and a ball and a t-shirt, a little backpack. So that was really nice for them to continue their skills. Some things that I did see is, I'm not sure if this is Parks problem or it's more of like the city's problem, but there was a lot of overgrown weeds inside of the basketball court. It did not look like a place where I would want to go and play basketball. There's also some trees that leave like those circle spikes. There's a ton of them on the floor there, which again, if I was playing basketball, it would make me slip and fall if I had one of those balls go under my shoe. So it was just, it did not look like a place where people would want to go play basketball. I did do a little report on the app, on the Merced Connect app, but I just think if they're gonna, whoever is mowing our lawn, I don't know if we pay somebody to do that or if that's the city that does that. Just going in there, like a weed whacker could have gone in there and just cleaned it up a little bit. And I just think that'd be better for our community. There's also an extensively grown palm tree, which I found out is not part of the city. So I'm guessing it is Kittyland's problem because it's on there. It's right next to the railroad track. It's severely overgrown. It could be a fire hazard. They could build this beautiful new train and the palm tree could fall right on it or right on the track. Just something that I don't know if they have to keep the place nice and pretty for the city. The city replied on the app saying that's not their property, but they would let the people know. But I just felt like I know that somebody inside who could let them know. Just a concern I had for that. I mean, everything else is the lawns mowed and everything like that, but it's just little details that can go further. And yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any further comments?
I did want to make a comment. I was able to attend the Junior Giants opening day ceremony, and a really great turnout. They had, games and other stuff for the kids that weren't participating in the games themselves. So, parents they like that too because it gives their kids something to do while they're watching their brother or sister play and stuff. And there was a barbecue, and it was just a good time. It was well done.
I would like to add that I did the swimming aquatics program for my kiddo, and he enjoyed it. He did both sessions this year, and he did a really good job. So I appreciate the McNamara Park staff, and and then you, Mr. Christopher, for lowering the fees for us. So I really appreciate it. And I did the movies in the park, all of them for my kiddo. He enjoys it. So thank you.
That's it.
Okay, agenda item H, adjournment. We need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion to adjourn, please.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Holloway and a second by Commissioner Bauer. Commissioners, please cast your votes.
Okay.
Okay, and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you all. See you next month.